Siyathemba nizolijabulela lolu hlelo.
Sanibonani grade 12s, Mr. Mbayi lona futhi for physical sciences. Namhlanje sikhuluma nge-chemistry, part of chemistry, electrochemistry. Still ngama-chemical reactions, electrochemical reactions. Electrochemistry kwakumele ngabe ngiqale ka grade 11 lapho nikhuluma ngani nge-oxidation number. So that will be the first one. In oxidation number. Oxidation number is the number given to element in a compound, right, to track the movement of electrons. Oxidation number uyithola ngokuthi makwenzeka i-bond, right, a chemical bond, khona element ezoluza electrons enye izogena electrons. So that movement electrons yona soyibiza nge-oxidation number, right? Start example ya NaCl, right, the sodium chloride. Kaliyahlaza ukuthi i-sodium as an atom kungenzeka ukuthi as a metal it can lose an electron, right? May lose electrons sibiza ukuthi Na plus. Abalwa plus lo will indicate zokusiza sithole ukuthi oxidation number uba. Masibuke chlorine the same way. Chlorine in oxidation number -1, kanti sodium in oxidation number +1. So masithi +1 says understand ukuthi sodium has lost electron kanti chlorine has gained the electron. Yona oxidation number. Utreka kanjani oxidation number from a chemical compound? There are few rules ekumele waziyo in terms of allocating oxidation number for a compound. Makuthi une pure substance. A pure substance noma standalone element, oxidation number u0. What I mean ukuthi mangine sodium, oxidation number ya sodium is 0. Oxidation number mhlambe ngizothi ka magnesium as an element u0, right? As a pure substance monayo kanje it gives you what u0 as a oxidation number, right? Noma kungaba polyatomic element such as H2 and the hydrogen. Njengoba yenziwe ama-atom afanayo, same type of atom, then nalokhu oxidation number sawu0 or Cl2 or 0 noma singaba hlambe no S6 sawu0 as well. As long as it's the same type, so oxidation number is over O0, right? Then the other rule is the oxidation number yama metals, group 1, group 2, all metals, right, will be positive. So oxidation number yama metals group 1, such as lithium, sodium, none is +1. So logo akushinji. Mawubona nje sodium noma potassium noma lithium in any compound kusho ukuthi oxidation number yakhe 1. Then oxidation number of element in group 2. Masebenzisa i-periodic table mangithi element in group 1 ngisho lawa ku group 1 element. So sikhuluma ngama metals, right? Hydrogen siyazi ukuthi la kuma metals, but it's a non-metal that is placed kuma metals. Then element or metals in group 2, oxidation number yak ubani +2, right? That's the oxidation number, right? Okunye singakhuluma ngama oxidation number of halogens, of fluorine, chlorine, bromine, -1. Oxidation number hydrogen in a compound is +1, except kuna exception, except ma unama metal hydride. Metal hydride ifana no sodium hydride, for example. Ma kuna metal hydride, then oxidation number hydrogen will be -1. kodwa yona ihlezi u-positive 1 unless it is a metal hydride. Bese kube oxygen. Oxidation number ye-oxygen u-negative 2. The oxidation number oxygen is negative 2. Ibe positive a negative 1 uma kuthi ikwi-peroxide. Peroxide fana no-H2O2 sengaba bani u-negative 1. So those are just few rules. I-oxidation number a compound, right? A compound, the sum of the oxidation numbers of element in a compound. Uma ngithi mhlambe sodium chloride. Mangihlanganisa ama-oxidation number ka-sodium ne-chlorine ikunika bani u-0. So the sum of the oxidation numbers of the element in a neutral compound is equal to 0. Kodwa kwenzeka futhi compound ibe an ion, a polyatomic ion such as carbonate. Uma ngithi carbonate ino CO3 2-. Kusho ukuthi the sum of oxidation numbers ka carbon nama oxygen awu 3 will be equal to negative 2, right? So when it's a pure compound, that will be 0. Let's say it's H2CO3. H2CO3, this one is a neutral compound. So mohlanganisa oxidation numbers of all the elements in this compound kuzophuma u-0. But mase kune ion kanje as a polyatomic ion, oxidation number sum will give you what? Negative 2. That is for a oxidation number, right? Those rules will just be easy to find. Wakumele nenzeka grade 11 ukuthi calculate kanjani oxidation number of the element. Right, ngifuna ukwenza nje isibalo esodwa khona sobona ukuthi must calculate oxidation number si calculate kanjani. Ngithe H2CO3, right? Now I have to apply the rule ukuze ngithole mhlambe what is the oxidation number ya carbon in this compound. Ithini oxidation number ya carbon in this compound. Now ngibuka hydrogen fall under ama rules. Is oxidation number ya hydrogen ubani positive 1 unless it is in a metal hydride. Siyabona ukuthi le compound it's not a metal hydride. Kusho ukuthi positive 1. Sesoti positive 1 ama hydrogen awu 2 lana soti times 2 plus i-oxidation number ka carbon sifuna yona so share khona as C ngoba sifuna oxidation number ya carbon. Then sibe oxygen nayo it fall under ama rules. Sithe oxidation number oxygen ubani negative 2 unless it is in a peroxide where izoba negative 1. So masibuka le compound akusiyona i-peroxide, so kusho ukuthi oxidation number ya oxygen ubani negative 2. So in that case soti negative 2 bese sibona ukuthi ama oxygen awu 3 soti times 3. Manje lokhu fama kuhlanganisiwe kuzokukhipela bani kuzokukhiphala u-0 ngoba it is a neutral substance. So singenza ke i-math sino 2 lana sino bani sino negative 6 sino carbon ngala equal to 0. So ngala sinika negative 4 must transpose C is equal to positive 4. Kusho ukuthi i-oxidation number ka carbon in H2CO3 is positive 4, right? Funa sibuke quick oxidation number in case sinani nitrogen. Bese kuthiwa calculate the oxidation number of nitrogen. Then sibona ukuthi this is a pure substance, just an element ngoba it's made of the same type of atom. It's a nitrogen ngala so the oxidation number yakho bani u-0, right? So that's it. Then asikhulumeke makuna kunoshintsho kwi-oxidation number ngoba i-substance yakwazi ukushintsha i-oxidation number, right? So buyela kule case yokuthi sine sodium esihlanganisa ne-chlorine kusikhiphele bani u-sodium chloride, right? Now oxidation number ka sodium u-0 ngoba siyabona vele ukuthi it's an element. Chlorine sishilo futhi it's an element made of the same type of iron, so oxidation number u-0. Kodwa masibuya ngala sesine compound. Remember say ukuthi oxidation number is the number given on the element in a compound. So it's not, if it's not in a compound, show the value oxidation number was 0. Right. Then oxidation number ka sodium. Sodium is a metal in group 1. Sakhumbula nje ama rules athini in terms of metals in group 1. Lona in oxidation number it's always positive 1. So ngala sino positive 1. With chlorine, siyazi ukuthi all chlorine is a halogen. Noma singayicalculate futhi kufanele makuhlanganise oxidation number ka sodium no chlorine kuphume bani u0. So definitely chlorine uzoba negative 1. Right. Now, before a reaction, sodium kato no 0, right? In sodium, oxidation number was 0. After a reaction, oxidation number of sodium ubani or positive 1. Masibuga chlorine. Chlorine oxidation number before a reaction was 0. After the reaction kuno bani kuno negative 1. Right. Loku sobona ukuthi oxidation number ka sodium isuke ku 0 ya positive 1. That means there is an increase in oxidation number. Right. Mase sibuka chlorine yona there was a decrease ngoba isuka ku 0 ya ku negative 1. So there is a decrease in the oxidation number. Okay. Now makuna leyo nto sikuyakusiza manje usibona ukuthi masibuka sodium chloride. Into siyaziyo ukuthi sodium uzodonate 1 electron, chlorine izoreceive leyo electron. So kusho ukuthi there is a movement of electrons. One substance is losing electron, the other one is gaining electron. So lokhu kuzokuyisa kwi reaction, a chemical reaction ebizwa ngani? Ebizwa nge redox reaction. A redox reaction. A redox reaction is simply a reaction whereby there is a transfer of electrons. Redox reaction, there is a transfer of electrons when you have to define this one. Now, baguti transfer of electrons, leli kameliti redox, right? It's a combination yamagama o2 or red, red, nalo x or ox, right? Then it's going to define ukuthi kushokuthini maguti sibiza leli kama uthi redox. Now, sodium lost electrons. Chlorine gained electrons. Right? So sitini sodium lost electrons. Yaba is sodium ion. Chlorine gained electrons. Yaba chlorine ion. Noma chloride. Right? So tinige a substance that loses electron. So tileo substance was oxidized. Sodium is oxidized. Right? Mesesibu with chlorine. Chlorine gained electrons. The substance that gains electrons kutiwa reduced. So ti reduced ngoba ilokuzani yake oxidation number yake isuke ku 0 ya ku negative 1. Yaba decreased by 1. So njengoba kune decrease in oxidation number kutiwa the substance is reduced. So kwa vele kwahlanganiswa ke lamagama oxidized no reduced kwaphuma bani o redox. So tata lo red nalo ox mase kuhlanganisiwe kwaphuma redox. Right? So reduction oxidation reaction kahle kumele sisho njalo. Right? So this redox reaction yona sisebenzisa ku electrochemistry. Right? Now asipinde start le sodium nale chlorine. So singathini ukuthi ama electrons asuka normally electron eyodwa isuka ku sodium iza ku chlorine. Kodwa bengeke isuke yodwa nje from sodium iye just nowhere. Kufanele kube khona chlorine. Isuke ku sodium ingoba bekune chlorine. Right? Kusho ukuthi chlorine iyona yenza ukuthi sodium abe oxidized. And at the same time, chlorine ibe reduced ngoba it gained what? Ama electron. Kusho ukuthi sodium iyona inike chlorine bani electron. Kusho ukuthi chlorine was reduced ngenxa yani ye sodium. Sodium was oxidized ngenxa yani ye chlorine. So lokhu kwenzeka at the same time. Ingakho kuthiwa ingakho kuthiwa sibiza ngani nge-redox ngoba awukwazi ukubahlukanisa laba u2. The sodium reduces chlorine. Chlorine oxidizes sodium. So sithe sodium is oxidized. Kusho ukuthi singadefine what is oxidation. Oxidation is the loss of electrons. Loss of electrons. Then sina reduction. A reduction will be the gain of electrons. Right? Oxidation layer and reduction. So ungakwazi ukuyidefine oxidation in terms of electron transfer. Uyabona ukuthi most electrons are lost kusho ukuthi they are moving from one object to another. So oxidation layer. But at the same time, masibuyela kwi-oxidation number. Right, kwi-oxidation number. Sithe ukuthi oxidation number ka sodium isuke ku0 ya ku +1. Sathi there is what? An increase in oxidation number. Kusho ukuthi a substance oxidized has an increase in oxidation number. So that is another definition in terms of oxidation number. So oxidation is also what? An increase in the oxidation number. Increase in oxidation number. Right? So a reduction, njengoba sibona ukuthi chlorine isuka ku0 ya ku -1, a reduction is a decrease in oxidation number. Right? So we test noma ku exam bangakubuza ukuthi we define oxidation in terms of electron transfer. So uzothi oxidation is a loss of electrons. Reduction is the gain of electrons. Right? All right. Oxidation, makuthiwa define it in terms of oxidation number. Suzothi oxidation is an increase in oxidation number. A reduction is a decrease in oxidation number. Right. Then the next thing is ukuthi le oxidation ayenzeki yodwa, but iyenzeka at the same time with a reduction. Ngoba for a substance ukuba oxidized, ifanele kube khona a substance izoba reduced. So ngamanye amazwi le substance le sodium njengoba i-oxidized, i-oxidize obani? Chlorine. So chlorine sombiza ngani ngo-oxidizing agent. Ngoba chlorine yona nje isizathu sokuthi usodium abe oxidized. Sombiza ngo-oxidizing agent. Mese kuba ne-chlorine. Chlorine ube reduced ngenxa ka sodium. So usodium sombiza ngani? I-reducing agent. Yathemba ukuthi yazwana ke lapho. Because these two reactions have to happen at the same time. Usodium will reduce chlorine. Chlorine oxidizer usodium. So njengoba chlorine oxidize usodium, chlorine sombiza ngani ngo-oxidizing agent. Kodwa yena u-reduced. U-reduce bani? Usodium. So sodium reduces chlorine. Kusho ukuthi usodium u-reducing agent. Right? So, to define what is a reducing agent is the substance that is oxidized or the substance that loses electrons. What is the reducing agent? Is the substance that is oxidized. The reducing agent is the substance that is oxidized. Right? That is the reducing agent. The substance that is oxidized or the substance that loses electrons. The substance whose oxidation number increases. Then a reducing agent. A reducing agent, in this case, sodium reduced is oxidized. Chlorine is reduced kushoguti. It is the oxidizing agent. So you can define it in that manner. A reducing agent is sodium. It is oxidized, and oxidation is the loss of electrons. Right? So you can define it. Makuthiwa define what is a reducing agent. That is the substance that loses electrons or the substance that is oxidized. Define what is an oxidizing agent. That is the substance that gains electrons or the substance that undergoes reduction. ngoba sibiza ngani nge-oxidizing agent. Right, so that is the redox reaction. Then makune redox reaction, sodium and chlorine for example, asibukeke in terms of ama electrons transfer. Right, ngoba sithi sodium iqale as a sodium engenalutho, then with that sodium igcina sodium ion, right? Then kwenzekeni lana ngoba to move from sodium to sodium ion, one electron was lost. Kusho ukuthi une-sodium ngala, mase ikhipha i-electron eyodwa, sosala bani i-sodium ion ne-electron eyodwa ephumile kwi-sodium. Right, masibuka i-chlorine. I-chlorine iqale ngo-Cl2 and oxidation number was 0. Then i-chlorine yagaina bani i-electron. So masigene electron yaba bani u-Cl minus. Kodwa ke ngala simona ukuthi ama-chlorine awethu ifanele senze njani, sibalansise equation. Siyayibalansisa sifaka u2 lana, so nama-chlorine awu2. Kumele futhi sibalansise ama-charges. The total charge u0 u-1, ngala u-1 times 2, that is -2. Uthola u-2 ngala siba nobani, sifaka u2 la. So kubalansile ke equation. Mobalansisa i-redox reaction ubukani, ubalansa qala ama-atoms, sodium 1 sodium ngala, bese ubalansisa ama-charges. The charge to the left u0 ngala, +1 or -1, that is also 0. Right, now simona ukuthi le equation le reaction yenzeke for kwi-sodium, and i-sodium was oxidized. Ingakho leso ibiza ngani nge-oxidation half reaction. Sibiza nge-half reaction, right, ngoba ayiphelele as a reaction, ngoba ayihambi yodwa, ayikwazi ukuhamba yodwa. Then sine-chlorine. U-chlorine gained ama-electrons, kusho ukuthi chlorine is reduced. So njengoba i-reduce, sothini le reaction ubani, a reduction half reaction. So ama-half reactions omabili, right, khona oxidation half reaction ne-reduction half reaction. Mese-ke siyakwazi ukubahlanganisa khona kuzophuma-ke i-net redox reaction, ngoba kufanele kuhlangane oxidation ne-reduction ukuze kuphume i-redox reaction. Now masibalansisa ifanele sibuke ukuthi ama-electrons lawa ayafana yini, ngoba kumele ukuthi ukuthi a-substance loses ama-electrons, the other one, the number of electrons lost must be equal to the number of electrons gained. Now into efanele siyibuke ukuthi une-electron eyodwa ngala awu2. So ukuze sithole 2 lana senze njani, multiply the whole equation by 2, right? Zozothi times 2, ngoba ngenzela ukuthi number of electrons kuze kufane. So lana izothi u2 nala ngithi 2, lama electron nawo awu2. So at least sengiyabona ukuthi le lose ama electrons lose 2, lena again ama electrons awu2 as well. So kusho ukuthi I can cancel this out, bese ngiyabhala ke i-net redox reaction. Ngiphinda lokhu ngaka left kwama equation kwama arrows. So I have 2Na plus Cl2, then ngizangala 2Na plus, bese kuba plus 2Cl minus. Then ngizothi le equation isibalansile. This one sekuhlanganiswe i-half reaction, oxidation half reaction ne-reduction half reaction. So ngizothi ukuthi this one is the redox or the net or the overall redox reaction. Kodwa lokuqala ubani any oxidation half reaction, lesibili a reduction half reaction. So uyakwazi ukuthola ama-half reactions and you can be able to balance them. Right, uthathe esinye isibalo for a reduction, khona sobona ukuthi masibalansisa senze njani. Lana bekulula ngoba siyabona ukuthi u1 no2 a factor of each other, bekumele senze u-times 2 kuphela. Right, ngifuna ukuthatha i-example mhlambe ye-element eyodwa, mhlambe i-aluminium. Ngithathe i-aluminium, mese ngithatha enye substance, mhlambe ngizothi copper. It is aluminium and copper. Right, aluminium. Aluminium uzongikhipela aluminium 3 plus. Mese nguba copper onozoqala as Cu uzongikhipela bani Cu 2 plus. Right, then mawukuthi kuhlangene laba u2, copper or aluminium will be oxidized, copper will be reduced. So singathini sinayo aluminium isikhiphela aluminium 3 plus. Yes, go 3 plus kuyasho ukuthi ama electrons awu3 aphumile sesiyawabhala ke lana ngoba awasekho masithi Al3 plus. U3 plus kusho ukuthi kushota ama electrons awu3 sesiyawabhala ku3e minus. Mase siza kwi-copper. I-copper yona iqala as 2Cu2 plus ibanga ubani ithola ama electrons awu2. Ithola ama electrons awu2 ukuze ibe bani i-copper metal. Right, this one it is the oxidation half reaction. Kanti lona reduction half reaction. I-reduction half reaction uthola ubona ngokuthi kunama electrons. I-copper Cu2 plus gained ama electrons. Yabo mase kubhala ukuthi an element mase kuthiwa plus electrons, then that is gaining. Kusho ukuthi a reduction leyo. Then it's a reduction half reaction. Right, then asibona ukuthi kubalance leni uqala khona aluminium eyodwa khona enye aluminium. In terms of charges, siyazi oxidation number aluminium u0, ngalama sizalana sino positive 3 no negative 3, that's 0. So balance leni. Kwi copper same thing, we have Cu2 plus, that is 2 plus, and then 2 minus, that gives us 0. On the other side we have an element Cu, that also 0. So balance leni. Kodwa ke manje sifuna ukubhala oxidation, net redox reaction. Sesihlanganise oxidation half reaction, reduction half reaction. Right, sithema sihlanganisa kumele ama number of electrons lost alingane nama electrons gained. Into sibona lana ukuthi kuno 3 electrons lost kodwa ngala 2 electrons gained. Yakuthi akubalansile. Manje kumele senze njani? Kumele sifune simona ukuthi u2 no 3, 2 is not a factor of 3. Let's say mhlambe bekuno 4 lapha ezothi lana times 2 kuvele kuyiphumela u4 la ezanti. Manje u3 no 2, 2 is not a factor of 3. Ifanele sifune bani LCM, the lowest common multiple between u2 no 3. Lo LCM ubani u6. 6 is the lowest common multiple between u2 no 3. Kusho ukuthi kumele sithole 6. Ukuze sithole u6 ngala ku equation yokuqala efanele sithi times 2. Masithi times 2 kusho ukuthi yonke into izoba times 2. U2 ngala sifaka u2 ngala, u3 times 2 sekubani seku6. Sizalana ke ifanele sithole futhi u6 kodwa kuno 2 la. Then ukuze sithole u6 no 2 sizothi times 3. The whole equation multiply la kuphela sothi times 3. Then kuzoba u3 lana, lo 2 times 3 kube u6, mese sibe no 3 ngala. Right, mese sibona ukuthi ama number of electrons lost ayalingana nama number of electrons gained. Right, so we can cancel those two. Mese siyabhala ke net redox reaction. Yona izothi u2Al plus u3Cu2 plus, mese uskiphela bani u2Al3 plus plus u3Cu. Right, okay, kuhamba kanjalo ke mawubuka i-equation like this. Then uthola kanjani ukuthi lo Cu2 plus uvelaphi kahle kahle ngoba le copper nje ikwazi ivele ifike nje i2 plus aphi lama electrons akhe njengoba ifike i-reactor no aluminium. Kusho ukuthi khona enye element e-reacte ngayo. Right, ngifuna ukuyi-add ke lena khona so understand ukuthi kahle kahle kusukaphi lokho. Right, so sizothi i-reaction ethi aluminium react with copper chloride. then lokhu kusikhiphela u-aluminium chloride, plus copper. I-equation isho njalo, right? Now mawunothi uthole i-equation enje, the main thing is to allocate i-oxidation number. Asizame uku-allocate i-oxidation number. Oxidation number ka-aluminium ngoba emile kanje alone u-0. Copper chloride, this one is a compound, right? Masibuku chlorine, sitheni nge-chlorine. Chlorine makuyi-compound izokhiphela bani u-1. Kodwa siyabona ukuthi mani ama-chlorine awu-2 ngala, kusho ukuthi u-2, lo copper lo ubalansisa lo -2, so kusho ukuthi copper unobani u-2 plus. Masiza ngala, right, the same thing, u-chlorine usano -1, u-aluminium uzoba no +3, ngoba ama-chlorine awu-3 lana times -1 kusikhiphela bani u-3, so aluminium u+3 ngoba the sum of ama-oxidation number ka-aluminium nama-chlorine awu-3 kumele wakhiphele u-0. Then copper standalone u-0, right? Manje fanele sibone ukuthi which substance is oxidized, which one is reduced. Into engizoyibuka ukuthi ngibona ukuthi aluminium qale ngo-0 kwaba bani, kwaba no +2. By the time kushintsha i-oxidation number, lokhu kuyasho ukuthi this substance here has lost ama-electrons, ngoba into engibona ukuthi isuka ku-0 iya ku+3. That is an increase in the oxidation number. Remember the definition of oxidation in terms of oxidation number, sithe increase in oxidation number. Mase ngibuka i-copper. U-copper usuke ku+2 waya ku-0, so that is a decrease. Suka from +2 to 0, that is a decrease in oxidation number. Kusho ukuthi copper has gained ama-electrons, ngoba i-definition ye-reduction sithi there is a decrease in oxidation number. So kahle lesithola ukuthi aluminium is oxidized, copper is reduced. Khona ne-chlorine kodwa, masibuke chlorine ino -1 ngala before i-reaction, masiza ngala kusawu -1. So uyabona ukuthi i-oxidation number ka-chlorine ayishintshanga. Njengoba ayishintshanga kusho ukuthi yona ayikho part of the redox reaction, ngoba kuhlezi kunama-element awu-2, one that will be oxidized, the other one that will be reduced. Le status siyibiza ngani? Nge-spectator ion. I-spectator ion. Spectator ion. So chlorine or spectator ion ngoba i-oxidation number yakhe ayishintshanga, kusho ukuthi chlorine did not lose or did not gain ama-electrons, right? Ingakho masithi masimkhipha nje lo chlorine as a spectator ion, so sala no Al plus u-Cu, angisho u-Cu no 2 plus, bese sibuyela ngala o-aluminium uzoba Al 3 plus, bese siba nani ne-Cu ngala, right? Then makuthiwa sibalansise i-equation, uzobona ukuthi chlorine ifanele umbalansise, ne-copper ifanele umbalansise futhi, ngoba khona copper eyodwa, copper ngala, chlorine about 3, chlorine about 2. Again, ukuze sithole i-lowest common multiple between 3 and 2, so faka bani u-3 ngala, sifake nobani no-2 la, right? Then u-aluminium sifaka u-2 ngala, u-copper sifaka u-3, right? So masibuyela kule equation kusho ukuthi u2 uzala copper wona copper about 3, aluminium about 2 ngala, ne copper about 3. So uzobona ukuthi mase kubalansile kubuya exactly njengoba sikubhale ngaseqaleni as a redox net redox reaction, right? So wenza kanjalo. Then sibuka i-application yama transfer of electrons. Right, now sikhuluma ngama-transfer of electrons. Khona indlela ezimbili zokutransfer ama-electrons. You can have a direct transfer of electrons. Kusho ukuthi i-substance that is losing electrons, the substance that gains electrons, they must be in contact, in physical contact. Iyona sobiza ngani nge direct transfer, right? So ukuze i-metal, because most of the time esebenzisa metal, you know ukuthi most metal will donate ama-electrons, or all of them. They can donate, they can form positive ions. Ama-metals can only form what? Positive ions. So ukuze i-metal igain ithola ama-electrons, it has to be what? In an ionic form. It has to be in an ionic form. Then in that case izokwazi ukuthola ama-electrons. Otherwise ngeke kwenzeke lutho, because a metal cannot form a negative ion. So in direct transfer, so mhlambe sine compound enje, sine solution ngala, mhlambe i-solution ye copper sulfate. That is a solution ye copper sulfate, mase sifaka bani a zinc rod, a zinc metal, right? So sibona ukuthi zinc metal no copper sulfate, they are in contact. Copper sulfate siyakwazi ukumhlukanisa or kumdissociate, uzosinika bani Cu2+, then sinabani SO4 2-. Zinc is there. Then kwenzekani i-reaction between zinc ne copper ion. So sothola bani zinc ureacta nani ne copper ion. So mama uphethe into enjele kusho ukuthi i-reaction izokwenzeka the point ubona ukuthi njengoba zinc vele it's a neutral metal, kusho ukuthi the copper will gain ama-electrons and the zinc will lose ama-electrons. So zinc will be oxidized, copper will be reduced. Now they are in and the same compound, then complete touch in physical contact. So in that case masifuna ukubhala i-balance net redox reaction. Zinc uzokiphela zinc 2+ plus 2 electrons, that is the oxidation half reaction. Copper Cu2+ uzogena ama-electrons awu2 abe bani abe Cu, right? Oxidation half reaction le reduction half reaction, right? Mase kuhlanganiswa sibona ukuthi asidingi ukubalansisa ama-electrons ngoba awu2 ngala, right? So these 2 and 2 will cancel, sesinani zinc no Cu2+, baskiphela bani zinc 2+ plus Cu. Uma sekuno 2+, suyabona ukuthi lana kushota ini ama-spectator ion. Athini ama-spectator ion? Ilabo SO4 2-. Yona ama-spectator ion, right? This is a direct transfer. Khona indlela yokutransfer ama-electrons. Enye indlela yokutransfer ama-electrons, we call it indirect transfer. Makuthi kwi-indirect transfer sobona ukuthi sinama compartment awu2, sazosebenzisa izinc ne-copper again. Then mangisebenzisa izinc ne-copper uzobona ukuthi no zinc for example ngala ngifake kwi-zinc sulfate solution, lana ngibe ne-copper ngifake ku-copper sulfate solution, right? Now into ibonayo ukuthi lo zinc is not in contact with this copper here. Ngala nginani ngino zinc 2+ no bani no SO4 2-. Yona ama-ion ngiwaphethe kule solution. Le solution yesibili inani Cu2+ no bani no SO4 2-. That SO4 2-. Now what will happen? Yazi ukuthi ama-electrons can pass through what? A good conductor. So mangifaka intambo nje a good conductor, ngi-connect from zinc ngize ngi-connect la. Angithi manje zinc lo as a metal izobona bani copper o Cu2+. Bona ukuthi lo copper lo ushota ngani? Ngama-electrons. Kusho ukuthi lo zinc uzosenda ini? Ama-electrons azohamba la kule conductor, ama-electrons asuka from the zinc eze kephi? Eze la kwi-copper, right? So into ezokwenzeka ukuthi ngoba le zinc iluze ama-electrons iphenduka bani? Zinc ion ngoba iluze ama-electrons awu-2. Then siza ngala lo copper lo copper Cu2 plus ilo Cu2 plus lo uzothola lama-electrons asuka la kwi-zinc. So by the time lo copper 2 plus uwathola lama-electrons awu-2 uphenduka bani? U-Cu. Right, so in that case sothi bani? U-zinc was oxidized, a copper was reduced. Kodwa uyabo ukuthi bebengekho in physical contact, iliyona sibiza ngani ke indirect transfer. Now ama-electrons me ahamba kwi-conductor sithini? Siyazi electric circuit ukuthi when there is a flow of charge in a conductor we collect what we call a current. Kahle sesiproduce i-current siyakwazi ukufaka ngisho i-light bulb lana noma sifake mhlambe i-ammeter reading ngala ngoba siproduce ini i-current. Yabo kwi-source of electrical energy sesiyabona ukuthi mas connecta kanje singayithola ini i-current. Kahle kuna chemical reaction yenzeke ngala nala manje sithola bani? Electrical current. Kusho ukuthi we create a source of electrical energy, a converter bani chemical energy into electrical energy. Leyo system leyo sibiza ngani? Cell. This is a cell. What type of cell? Sibiza galvanic cell. So lakho sekuzoba ini i-galvanic cell. I-galvanic cell. I-galvanic cell noma i-voltaic kwenye textbook ngobona bathi i-voltaic cell kuyafana but sebenzisa bani? Galvanic cell. U-galvanic cell is simply what? A chemical cell that transforms a chemical energy into electrical energy. Yona galvanic cell. It converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Funubiyela kule setup yethu. So we have what? A galvanic cell. Kusho ukuthi bangakubuza ukuthi wena mawubuka i-setup enje ukuthi what type of cell is this one? Ubiza ngani galvanic cell. Right? Kanani just a few seconds. All right, sorry for that. When you have a cell like this, i-current ihamba ngala. Le current sithola ngoba kuna chemical reaction, right? We've converted. Manje uyabona ukuthi kule part le kwenzekeni i-zinc ilose ama-electrons. So kusho ukuthi ngala kwenzeke i-oxidation. Ngala kwenzeke bani? I-reduction. So this will be the oxidation half cell. Nale izoba i-reduction half cell. Ngala kwenzeka bani? Oxidation half reaction. Lana kwenzeka reduction half reaction. Kodwa chemical reaction yona ayishintsanga. So into sobona ukuthi this part here i-metal le metal iyona iyenza ukuthi sikwazi ukconnecta le half cell to the other half cell. Khona enye metal la copper, right? Nayo kwazile ukwenza ukuthi sikwazi ukconnecta this half cell to this other one. So ma uphethe lama metals kanje siwabiza ngani? Ngama-electrode. So le i-electrode nale enye electrode. Kodwa lama-electrode siyakwazi ukwahlukanisa in terms of amakama. Le electrode kwenziwa khona i-oxidation siyibiza ngani? Nge-anode. Kanti le electrode la kwenzeka khona i-oxidation siyibiza ngani? Nge-cathode. Right, but omabili ama-electrode. So the electrode, makuthiwa define what is the anode. The anode is the electrode where oxidation takes place. The cathode is the electrode where reduction takes place. Right? Could different noguti define what is oxidation. Is the loss of electrons. So awazi kusho ukuthi anode is the substance that is losing electrons. It's an electrode where oxidation takes place. Right? Ngoba masibuka ngala kwi copper for example, yabo lo copper lo akwenzekanga lutho kule copper. Le copper as Cu as metal, nothing happened to it. Kodwa lo copper ion lo ukwazile ukuthola ama electrons via lo copper metal. So yabo ukuthi I reduction ka Cu2+ yenzeke kulo Cu. So Cu was not part of the reaction. Right? In that way we sort it. Cu as a copper, it is an inert electrode ngoba it does not take part of to this reaction. Kodwa ku different masikhuluma nge zinc. Zinc is a metal here, iphinde ibe futhi I-electrode esibiza ngani nge-anode. So because of that, zinc will do what? Will lose ama electrons. Into reactor ngala, it's not zinc 2+, kodwa kubani ku zinc. So zinc at the same time it plays the role of yokuba I-anode, kodwa iphinde futhi undergo in oxidation. So the zinc will be oxidized. Now oxidizeka enithu uzoyi-observe ngala ukuthi njalo makuthi kune atom ye zinc ekhipha ama electrons isuka vele no longer I-metal iphenduka bani ama ion ebe 2+. So at the end uzobona ukuthi le zinc le iyadleka njalo, so I-mass of the zinc decreases. Kodwa masila uzobona ukuthi le copper njalo Cu2+ mawukuthi iphenduka Cu due to reduction izostaka ngala, so the mass of copper will increase. So into fanele uyazi in terms of galvanic cells ukuthi the mass of the anode will decrease, the mass of the cathode will increase. Lana izo decrease, ngala izo increase. Now akusho ukuthi njalo into ozobona ngaka left kusho ukuthi anode kungenzeka futhi bafake copper ngala zinc ngala, it doesn't matter, right? Wena fanele ubone ukuthi ama electrons asuka kephi aya kuphi. Le anode ngoba kusuka khona ama electrons sothi I-negative, the negative electrode. Le copper ngoba aya ngakhona situ positive, positive electrode, I-negative electrode sekuyi anode ngela as a negative electrode. So enye into efanele sibone ukuthi masine electric circuit ifanele kucoverisheke. Now buka ukuthi sino zinc 2+, angisho ngaseqaleni besino zinc sulfate kwakubani a neutral substance. By the time kwenzeka I-reaction uyabona ukuthi uzinc uskiphela zinc 2+ abaningi, kusho ukuthi kule solution baningi zinc 2+, benza ukuthi le solution ibe positive. Le solution ibe positive. Then masibuka ngala copper sulfate baningi Cu2+ kule solution. By the time bathola ama electrons labo Cu2+ baphenduka bani Cu, right? Kusho ukuthi bayancipha kule solution, and SO4 2-, they remain the same. So kusho ukuthi le solution le becomes what? Negative. And the solution ngala becomes what? Positive, because of zinc 2+ aba created, and ngala SO4- baningi ngoba Cu2+ bayaphuma kwi solution. Now ifane sibuyise I-neutrality yale solution. Ubuyise I-neutrality kule solution sifaka into esibiza ngani nge-salt bridge. Fake bridge, a salt bridge. This salt bridge ine salt efana hlambe ne ngithi potassium nitrate, right? Potassium nitrate ma breaker down kunika bani K+ no bani ne NO3-, because it's a salt in a positive ion in a negative ion. Njengoba sithe le solution izoba positive due to zinc 2+ aba created, kusho ukuthi lo NO3- uzo migrate, uzozangala, uzosuka la kwi salt bridge uzengala, just to maintain in neutrality. Lo K+, lo positive ion from a salt bridge wona uzoyangala ngoba sithe le solution is getting negative, right? That is the role of a salt bridge. So a salt bridge in ama functions are two, the main two function ukuthi it maintains the neutrality of ama solutions, ama electrolyte. Secondly, it's complete the circuit. sesine-complete circuit. So uyabona-ke ukuthi current izohamba kanje, right? So we have a complete circuit, right? So that is for a short bridge, right? Then enye into efanele siyazi in terms of galvanic cell, asibona ukuthi sisoyithini in terms of representing ukuthi kwenzekalani as a short bridge, right? So sebenzisa into sebiza ngani i-cell notation, i-cell notation, i-cell notation. I-cell notation ikunika bani i-electrode, mese ikunika i-short bridge, ikhombisa futhi nani ne-cathode. So ngala kwi-oxidation half reaction siyazi ukuthi kuqale as uzinc, uzinc it a solid, kwaphenduka bani, yaphenduka yaba uzinc 2 plus a solution, so bani u-AQ. Mese kuba ne salt bridge. These two lines represent a salt bridge. This one line just represent what? The phase change. Suka kwi solid sekubani i-ion that you have. Mese siza kwi cathode side. With the cathode side sikhuluma nge-substance a reduced. So what was reduced is Cu2 plus. Mase reducekile yaphenduka bani? Yaphenduka Cu. One line then you have Cu. Right? Density solid. This one, ma we represent kanje kuyasho ukuthi you have what? A cell notation. Kuyasho ukuthi zinc is undergoing oxidation, copper is undergoing reduction. This is the cell notation. So yakwazi ukubhala cell notation, noma uyibuke cell notation, so you can tell which one is the anode, which one is the cathode. So khombisa ukuthi une anode ngala khona i-salt bridge, ube ne cathode on the other side, right? Ngenxa yesikhathi ke I think umele simelana, then so qhubeka ke next week, but asibe sipractice ukuthi kubhalwa kanjani i-cell notation, and also ama half reaction, ama definitions in terms of what is oxidation, what is reduction. Siya define in terms of electrons transfer, noma si define in terms of oxidation number, right? Mase sina lokhu so thola ukuthi sine galvanic cell, yona it's an electric cell that converts chemical energy into electrical energy as a galvanic cell. Mase siyabuka ke ne structure se galvanic cell, right? Asibonge for usuku namhlanje, then asibonane next week, same place, same time.
Ukuthi nisengathokozela ezinye izifundo eziyisithupha kanye nezengeziwe i-learner wellness, i-career guidance kanye ne-advanced program. Hlanganyela nathi kwizifundo ezi-online ku-068 151 1072 noma ku-GoDigi@godigitalsa.today. Siyabonga.